Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. And yes, this is how my pedal inputs are looking like when I'm not even touching them. So it's an issue with the potentiometer in the pedal, and there'll be a whole separate video hopefully soon. But I have some positives to share as well. In the last Grand Prix, that was the Sandwood GP, I got promoted to P3 because somebody in front of us had a penalty. So yeah, that would make it 3 podiums out of the 5 races which I have participated in, and yeah, China was a bad one, and then Australia I DNF'd. So other than that, I think it was all podiums.
Nice,
And
lad.
around Spain, it's not really a track that I fancy, and
Banker
with
bile.
pretty much no practice throughout the week, I was not pretty much expecting anything from this Grand Prix. But let me take you around for the fastest lap which I did in Spain, and unlike all my other qualification sessions, I think this was a better run. So coming up into turn 1, ice to the left as soon as you spot that bald patch, brake, and yeah, take all of the curb that is on the inside of both of these turns. Let the car run wide before you tighten it for this long right hander. Stick to the inside in quali, that gains you a few tenths, a few hundred, sorry, and then into this turn just before the shadow, brake in a straight line, and then fourth gear. Don't take too much of the curb on the inside, you can clip it, and then make sure you use all of the track that's available. This left-hander, there's no real braking reference point. You can look at the wall to the right, but yeah, it's purely on feel, this one. And then as the curb starts, brake in a straight line, and you ideally want to take a lot of both of these curbs. So coming up into this long right-hander, entirely flat this one, but yeah, we do it in 6th gear, we don't upshift throughout the corner because we are pretty low on downforce. And then before the 100-meter board, down 7 gears into first for rotation, and then third for exit. And then this left hander, you can take it in multiple ways. I like to mount it, you can miss the curve entirely. And then coming up to the real part of sector 3, and it's just so tough to hook up these corners. And yeah, kiss this one, kiss this curve as well, and if you're not ideal through that section, you will lose time for the entirety of this straight, and that is not really something you want in a race situation. But we do a 1 minute 14.98, and I was satisfied pretty much. I don't think I could have gone any faster, maybe a tenth or two in the last sector, but it was just, yeah, in hindsight
Buddy.
it's always easier.
So good.
So we come around to finish in P4 in this quali session, and I knew that I needed to get a really good start again and just capitalize on that, and maybe just pull away a little from all of the people behind me. So it's now time for the race start, and we have lights in Spain, and I was just ready at this moment to just pounce on the cars in front, and we get a mega start, instantly shift into third, and we get a very good start, and we passed both of these cars before the braking zone even begins. So I was really happy with this start, broke at the limit pretty much. And yeah, just now I felt that the car really felt lazy because I was running lower wings than I did in quali, and this has an effect on your braking distances and also your turn in. So I was happy to be in P2, but coming out of this corner, and the car somehow just did not feel like it did in practice sessions. Maybe, all my practice sessions the weather was sunny, and I'm not really sure how much of a difference it makes. Maybe if you know, then you can let me know in the comment section down below. But because these were overcast conditions, I was kind of not ready for this, and I think maybe it's the track temperatures or something, that the car was not really feeling as grippy as it did in practice sessions. But nonetheless, I was pretty happy with the start which I got, and then now it was all about sticking to the guy in front for as long as I could. I did not really want to overtake him. I thought that if he was just fast, I would take his DRS and just drag myself along. So out of this last chicane, and it's just, this is where I think I lost all of my time, because it's just so tough, and I think this was my weakest area on the track. And if you're not fast through that section, as a result you lose time throughout this straight. So coming up to lap 4 now directly, and you can see that in front of us the Williams has gotten free from the DRS clutch, and I knew that I would be at risk from the Renault behind us. So I knew, I was pretty much expecting to be overtaken on this next straight, and I think that plays so much on your mind that I mess up the last chicane entirely. So on to the start finish straight, and I was really expecting the Renault to get past me before the braking zone even began. So I did not really choose to fight it, went into lane before the braking zone, and yeah, just broke way earlier than I would. And yeah, it was not just about following him, so I knew that if I could just follow him for the next 4 or 3 laps, just stay in his DRS, it would mean a lot in terms of the total race time. So coming up to the last sector on the very next lap, and as I said, I was just not feeling really confident with the car on this in this first stint at least. And as you will see right now, we again mess up this last chicane, and that means that we would be very vulnerable to the guy behind. So the Alpha Tauri behind us will pretty much get us before the braking zone again, and we try to protect the inside, but yeah, it's of no use. So again, do the same thing as we did on the lap before, and just into lean before the braking zone even begins, and just the same thought process again, just to try to stay in his DRS and see if he can drag us along. But yeah, as you can see, the tire is not really ready to cooperate at this moment. I think they had around 50% wear, 60% wear by now. So lap 7, and there was a virtual safety car, and this is where I think I lost some very crucial time. And as you will see towards the end of the race, how much these 1 or 1.5 seconds which I lost would mean. So yeah, I was not really entirely ready to just get back into the racing mindset. I was still looking at the tires. I was still looking to for who was behind me, who was in front of me, the gaps and all. And as a result, I missed my braking point entirely. But end of lap 8 and the beginning of lap 9, we decide to peel into the pits and shift onto the hard tires. And I think this was a crucial moment again, because luckily we did not come out in traffic. So unlike China, the gamble really paid off, because in China I was on medium tires, and if you pit late, you're bound to come out into traffic. So a safety car, a virtual safety car again on lap 12. And I was kind of happy with this one, because I knew that this would help with the tire situation, because I've pit so early. And just carrying those hard tires for I think 24 laps, it's not easy. Towards the end, you're running the risk of a puncture, and the front left in these conditions, it's just, yeah, it takes a beating pretty much. So into T1 again, and I think virtual safety car would end now. So the same thought process again, pretty much just wanting to catch up to the guys in front. And I knew that this is just so crucial with all the penalties you can get. And my mistake in this race, that I got 2 warnings on the third lap itself, and the remaining 30 laps I had to be just very cautious. And I think as a result, I just could not push the car as much as I would have wanted, because if you get one penalty, in my opinion, it's just a downward spiral then. And the frustration adds up, because you know that 3 seconds are going to be added to your time. So you try to give that extra push, and in that extra push you get multiple new penalties as well. So at least that is the case with me. So I was just trying to be very cautious. And on to lap 22 now. Directly you can see that we have caught up somewhat. I think 1 second we have made to the guys in front, but the medium runner in the Alpha Tauri has now pit. So now I knew even before that this was effective P3, and now it's effective P3 on track as well. So I knew that this was pretty much everything I could have gotten out of myself on this weekend, because with the limited practice that I could have, all I had to offer was consistency, and even that was in shambles, I thought, on lap 3 itself. So 2 warnings in 1 lap, you're not, ideally you shouldn't get that. And coming up to the last sector on lap 26, so even with these old tires, we are pretty much improving on our time lap after lap after lap. And this is what mattered to me, because with the limited practice that I had, as I said, consistency was all I had to offer. And it was just about milking that one single cow. And for 23 laps I had done exactly that after lap 3. So I knew it was all about just staying in this rhythm, just not getting any more warnings or penalties, and then just making sure we finish in P3. And I was interested, I was looking for P2 as well. Just the guy in front did not have any penalties till now. I think it's lap 28 or lap 27 that the guy in front also gets a penalty. So now I get really interested in just staying within the 3-second window. But with these tires, I think you would see in a moment's time that these tires are pretty much done. And I just did not want to push them too much, because that would mean bad things towards the closing stages of the race, because I just did not want to have a puncture. But even saying that, as you can see on the top right corner of your screen, I'm still improving on my personal best times. And yeah, it's just 3 more laps to go in this race, and my objective right now was to just stay behind Yashish. And if I could just stay in that 3-second window, I knew that it would be a certain P2. And at just these moments, I would remember that one lap I made that mistake after the virtual safety car. And if I had not made that one, I could have been in a better situation, a more comfortable situation for sure. But that is racing, and coming up to this last chicane of this lap, and I think this is my personal best lap throughout the race. So yeah, just hooking up this last chicane beautifully on this occasion, and we come around to take a 1 minute 18.3, I think it was. Yeah, so that's pretty close to my personal best time as well. I did, I think, 18.2 in practice once, but that was with DRS and slipstream. So yeah, on the next lap 18.5. So just 2 laps to go in this race, and with these tires, just getting really close to my personal best time. So I think the race was really coming alive for me, and you can see that we are within 3 seconds of the guy in front, but it was the Renault which pit for fresh soft tires so he could have the fastest lap. And yeah, I think it was a smart move. So 77% worn tires, and coming to sector 3, and at this moment I was just hoping that I just did not want to puncture, because it's, yeah, around 80% it gets really tricky, and just any moment your tires can let go. So I was just praying pretty much that these tires hold on, but at the same moment also looking out for the time in front, and just I wanted to be within 3 seconds, so I was giving it everything which I had. And just coming up to lap 33 now. So yeah, I could not really get into the 3 second window. I think something, I don't remember having a bad lap myself. I think the guy in front did a really good lap, and I think this P3 would be where we would be finishing. So yeah, I was still interested through these last chicanes, so trying to keep it as tight as possible. Still hoping that the guy in front would have got another penalty on this last lap, but no, he did not, and we finished P3. So I can't really complain, to be honest. I think this was the best which I could have gotten on this weekend, and just, yeah, ignore this timesheet. I think it's a bug in the game, so that means that it shows that the racing point won, but it did not. So just checking to see what the guy in front was running. So he had 2 warnings, so one more warning would have meant that we were into P2. But yeah, as you will see on my race directive, just 2 warnings on lap 3 and then nothing for the remainder of the race. So yeah, very proud of that as well. But that means 15 points for the team and for myself as well, and I think that would put me in P3 in the driver's standing. So yeah, the first 6 rounds of the season we've been on the podium for 4 of them. So a strong start. I know it's a long season, but I think the objective is always to win. But on this occasion in Spain, I think we would have to be happy with P3. But that would be all for this video. Let me know what your thoughts are on the race and on my driving, or the video as a whole. But yeah, just give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel for all the future videos. Check out all the other content on the channel. And until the next video, until the next time, just stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next one.